Happy Sunday, August 8, 2021. I'm Lights Camera Jackson, and welcome to LCJ Live. Thanks to all of you for watching my rapid review of The Suicide Squad. Man, it's a bad film. And it had a poor-ish opening weekend of $26.6 million. One of the higher opens of the past year, but lower than even Birds of Prey, which did about $33 million in February of 2020, and obviously significantly lower than what the first Suicide Squad movie did back in 2016. $135 million, something crazy like that, or $175 million. Outrageous numbers. You got to put all that aside and just look at this, though. You have to look at this movie and say a couple of things. Number one, it was available on HBO Max starting Thursday night. So people who have HBO Max and say, you know what, it's free, I don't need to pay extra, I'm going to watch it at home. Why not? Turn it on, here's the 2 hours, here's the Suicide Squad. All right? Number two is that it's not a very good film. It just isn't. Number three is that it's R. The last Suicide Squad film was PG-13, and it had Will Smith. And as we saw with Bad Boys for Life just before the pandemic started, Will Smith can still draw a lot of people into the movie theaters. And so without Will Smith, with now an R rating, with James Gunn, the transition from Marvel to DC, and some fans may still not be thrilled with all of that, because it's not a very good film, because it was available at home, and it might have done well at home, but we don't know those numbers yet. That's why you get your $26.6 million for Suicide Squad. I am not surprised that it didn't do so high. I remember when I posted earlier in the summer, we had F9 open to $70 million and Black Widow open to $80 million, and I said, we've probably hit the peak for what it's going to be. And some people wrote to me, oh no, LCJ, Suicide Squad's going to do it. And I go, no, it's R. First of all, it's R. It's not going to do $70, $80 million. I didn't even think it was going to cross 50 at that point. But no, Suicide Squad, I had this gut feeling based on the trailers not looking so good, based on it being rated R, and based on where we're at in the world and the HBO Max simultaneous debut, that it was not going to open strong. And here we are with $26.6 million. Again, is it an all-time disaster in terms of this pandemic? No. But it's not a very strong open, and I'm not surprised. Now, you're probably wondering why I've got Chase here. Paw Patrol the movie is coming out in theaters and on Paramount Plus on August 20. The review embargo lifted this morning. I have seen the film. It is fun. Families will not be disappointed at all, and I'm going to have my LCJ Q&A podcast episode with Cal Brunker, the director, and Bob Barlin, the co-writer, next week. So look forward to that. Brian, thanks for being here on LCJ Live. In second this weekend, Jungle Cruise with $15.7 million. It is up to $65 million after 10 days in theaters. Not the biggest drop of a movie in this pandemic for second weekend. A lot of 60, 65, 70% drops. Jungle Cruise only dropped 55%. It's because it's a Disney movie. It's because of The Rock, Emily Blunt, and the fact that families have to wait another 2 weeks for Paw Patrol. And yes, Paw Patrol will hopefully do well whether you watch it at home or safely go to a theater. But Paw Patrol skews very young. 10, 12-year-olds may not be as into wanting to see Paw Patrol the movie. They may go because it's a new animated movie, but the most excited people will be parents and very little ones. But families need something to see, and Space Jam this weekend only did another $2.5 million. It's up to just $65 million, right, with Jungle Cruise, but Space Jam not doing as hot in these last couple of weekends. Families need something to see, and even though Jungle Cruise is rated PG-13, there is some violence. There's a whole scene of sexual humor and innuendos that they try to cover up, a dialogue scene between Dwayne and Emily and Jack Whitehall. Even with all of that, parents are still going to take kids because it's Disney and they need something to see right now. So that's why Jungle Cruise didn't drop quite as much as other films. In third this weekend, Old with $4.1 million, Black Widow with $4 million in fourth. That could be a battle. It could be a switch for third and fourth when the actual results are released. Shout out to Stillwater, which stayed in fifth place this weekend with $2.9 million. Not a gigantic drop from the $5 million from last weekend. It's up to $10 million after 10 days. And The Green Knight, huge drop. Went from 8.6 down to 2.6. Wow, it's up to $12.2 million. Space Jam, as I mentioned, with $2.5 million. Snake Eyes, $1.6 million in eighth. It is only at $26 million. What a bust. I mean, it's not a very good film either, but what a bust for Paramount after the first two G.I. Joe movies. But again, I had a gut feeling, and I questioned why Paramount sent the movies that they did to streaming services, and yet they held on to Snake Eyes. Probably because of Hasbro and the G.I. Joe brand, but in the end, $26 million. Good God, that is not very good. Paw Patrol the movie, we'll see how it does. It'll depend on how many families want to go. Hopefully it'll make some money, and for Paramount Plus, if it doesn't get to $26 million, I don't think you can call it as much of a flop as this because of the circumstances. Escape Room 2 in ninth with $1.3 million. It's up to $23 million, significantly lower than what the first Escape Room did. Again, Sony sent a bunch of movies to streaming services, yet held on to Escape Room 2. Why? They thought it was going to be a big hit. I had a gut feeling it wasn't. I mean, the trailer gives away pretty much the whole movie. And rounding out your top 10 is Fast 9 with $1.2 million. It's up to $171. The interesting thing about Fast 9, it still needs another $3 million to beat Hobbs & Shaw's total from summer of 2019, which made $173.8. I don't know at this point if F9 is going to make another $3 million. It's going to be a tough call. Universal may want to force that to happen to make it go over 174. But they're, after a decent start for F9, the fact that everybody went out of the gate and it's slowing down significantly to not get to what Hobbs & Shaw did, that's a little underwhelming, even all things considered. As I wrote the other day, when it comes to Black Widow, which is at $174 million, it's not the lowest grossing Marvel Cinematic Universe movie of all time. That is still The Incredible Hulk. That will probably remain The Incredible Hulk, unless Shang-Chi doesn't do so well in a couple of weeks. Incredible Hulk did 135. Captain America First Avenger did 176 in 2011. Ant-Man did 180 in 2015. And Thor did 181 back in 2011. Now, some of those films I just mentioned, Incredible Hulk was a Universal film. Thor and Captain America, the first installments, were both Paramount releases. So that was before the total Disney takeover of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The only movie that was in that equation that is Disney is Ant-Man. And I think a lot of people didn't go to Ant-Man because they thought, really? Ant-Man? Really? And it's still one of the lowest grossing in the MCU, along with Ant-Man and the Wasp, which only did 216 total. Still one of the lowest grossing in the MCU. And they're Disney films. So Black Widow will pass Captain America. I think it's going to pass Ant-Man and Thor, but it's not going to get to 200 million. It's not. It may not even get to 190. And so Disney has to look at it and say, well, we had to put it out on Disney+, but how's Shang-Chi looking for September? For Labor Day weekend, we're just a few weeks away. And then Eternals in November, and then Spider-Man in December. It's because of what happened, the pandemic, and now you've got 4 Marvel movies in a very short period of time. Will everybody go to all of them? Shang-Chi's going to be released exclusively in theaters. Disney also releasing Free Guy this weekend with Ryan Reynolds exclusively in theaters through 20th Century Studios. The first 20th Century Studios release, I believe, since last August for New Mutants, which I saw at the drive-ins. Interesting thing about Free Guy. I just posted this on Twitter at LCJ Reviews. When I attended an advanced screening of Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard back in June, it was a Friday night, and it was a pay screening. There was a group of about 5 or 6 10-year-old boys, clearly Deadpool fans, very excited to be there. They had a couple parental guardians with them, and they were pumped to see Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, even though it's rated R, because there's Ryan Reynolds in it, and they've watched Deadpool and Deadpool 2 probably several times. They were excited to see it, and were laughing during a lot of that terrible film. So the fact that Free Guy is rated PG-13, Ryan Reynolds in this vibe, maybe there's snarkiness from his character like the Deadpools, from the producers of Deadpool in the same studio and all that. If you're able to get the kids who went to Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, which didn't make a lot of money, but it did okay, to go see Free Guy and more of that 10-year-old demo, because it's PG-13, then Free Guy is going to be a hit. Now, things are a little different now than they were 2 months ago, but if the 10-year-old boys see this as an opportunity to go see Free Guy, then Free Guy will do well. Again, because of the hole we're in right now with your G and PG-rated family films. They will go to Free Guy. They will ask the parents to go to Free Guy anyway. So we'll see how that does this coming weekend. Also out this weekend is Respect, the Aretha Franklin film with Jennifer Hudson, which I'm looking forward to seeing very soon. Also, Don't Breathe 2, Sony trying another horror movie in the theaters. So it'll be a showdown between all three of those movies, plus week 2 of Suicide Squad and week 3 of Jungle Cruise, all in the equation for next weekend's top 5. A film that expanded more into wide release this weekend that didn't do so well was 9 Days. Now, 9 Days only in about 450 theaters. But it's a strong movie. I like it. It's an original film. But it's a film you really got to tell people about. You got to say, look, the premise is a little out there, but you got to trust me and you got to take a chance. And because of that, some people still might be hesitant about going to see 9 Days, and this is a film that needs to benefit from word of mouth. It's a film that needs to benefit from more awards play later in the year, more of a fall release, and probably DVD and at-home viewing. People will catch up on it and go, oh, I remember when that was coming out. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Oh, it surprised me. So 9 Days, fortunately, didn't do very well this weekend, but it's going to need legs, and it's going to need that fall awards buzz momentum behind it, and could be a strong DVD play for Sony Pictures Classics. I've seen some other movies that open up this week. Coda, which is on Apple TV Plus on Friday. Beckett, which is on Netflix Friday. That's with John David Washington and Alicia Vikander. Coda has Marlee Matlin in it and Eugenio Derbez. Charming the Hearts of Men is on VOD. Kelsey Grammer is in that. I have seen that. Modern Love. I want to talk about Modern Love. It's season 2 of Amazon Prime Video's series. And season 2 premieres this Friday, August 13th. And I had the chance to find a location where they filmed part of a scene for season 2 with Garrett Hedlund in it, because it's near me. Last year they came, Amazon Prime Video, to film Modern Love season 2 all around upstate New York. They went to various locations that appear in several different episodes of the show. And I was able to stand at a dock location for one of those. So if you watch Modern Love this weekend, coming up on Prime Video, you can spot in several of the episodes Albany, Schenectady, Troy, Rensselaer, New York, and Proctor's Theater is in it. Park Playhouse is in it. A lot of Troy is in it. So that was pretty cool to check that out. Modern Love this weekend on Prime Video. Also back this week, Marcus Lemonis with a new season of The Prophet on CNBC. 8 episodes of that. And all your favorite shows return, at least all of my favorite shows return, because everything went on reruns with the Olympics. So College Bowl is back this week, Making It is back this week, Lego Masters is back, and several other shows. So that's good. We get a second half of seasons of all of those before the end of the summer, and then the fall television season will be here before we know it, with the Emmy Awards on September the 19th. If you're just joining us here on LCJ Live, Thomas Dockel, thanks for being here. Paw Patrol the movie review embargo is out. I like the film. Parents and kids will not be disappointed at all. It definitely amps up the series. It does. And Jimmy Kimmel's got a voice performance in it, Kim Kardashian, Tyler Perry, and some great surprises in it for Paw Patrol the movie. Your number one film is The Suicide Squad with $26.6 million. And if you have not checked out my rapid review of that, please do so here on Twitter at LCJ Reviews, as well as on YouTube, youtube.com/LightsCameraJackson. Got a very good new Too Fast, Too Films podcast episode with my co-host Mike Sargent. We review The Suicide Squad, as well as Whirlybird, a documentary now available on VOD. So go to toofast2films.com to get our thoughts on The Suicide Squad and Whirlybird. Check those out. I want to congratulate Mike Sargent on the film that he is making. He's beginning to film this movie tomorrow, The Last Call, and looking forward to hearing all kinds of great stories and seeing footage from him filming this movie in New Jersey. All the best to Mike. We're still going to do episodes of the Too Fast, Too Films podcast as he makes this movie, but congratulations to him on that. Very exciting. And as always, a lot going on in the world of entertainment. As I wrote this morning, Dan Harris from Good Morning America signing off from ABC News after 21 years in just 2 months. I met him, and he had a couple family members with him, a couple young family members with him, at a screening of Toy Story 4 in June 2019 in New York City. He was very nice and really liked the movie and really liked being there and enjoyed it, and his family enjoyed it and his friends. That was quite a day, because that day I went to the taping of Match Game, the infamous taping of the Alec Baldwin Match Game at ABC Studios, and then had to exit that taping early to make sure I could get to the Toy Story 4 screening on time, and Dan Harris was there, and many other people in ABC, and some other critics and colleagues, and Andrea Belke of People was there, and a lot of others. Yeah, that was June of 2019 for Toy Story 4. All the best to Dan Harris on his next adventures. So yes, when we are back here next Sunday for LCJ Live, which I believe we will be, though there are a couple things I may be involved with, so you'll have to check my social media to see if we are going to do an LCJ Live next Sunday. But keep an eye out this week for my thoughts on Respect, Charming the Hearts of Men, Coda and Beckett, and also we'll see how Free Guy and Don't Breathe 2 and Respect do in the theaters. As always, go to lights-camera-jackson.com. Go to animationscoop.com tomorrow. My new Q&A with the makers of Marvel's What If, the new Marvel animated series premiering this Wednesday on Disney+. I talked with the makers about Chadwick Boseman animating these Marvel characters and working with the ageless Paul Rudd. So check that out tomorrow at animationscoop.com. Follow me on Twitter at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LatesCamJackson, and I will see you very soon for more LCJ Live. Adam Edwards 4-1. Hope you have a good Sunday. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay positive, and safely attend the theaters if you can, indoor theaters and drive-in theaters, which I hope have been doing very well with Jungle Cruise, and hopefully get Paw Patrol the movie and some other big films for the rest of the summer and into the early fall. Take care, everybody. Thank you for watching LCJ Live. Bye-bye.